Oslin Archibald Clarke is a registered nurse working in a care home during this current pandemic. I wanted to get in touch with her to see how she was coping and how her routine has changed since this time.
The change that we've experienced is like going into work with with CVs, and then you have to change. You have to get changed, and and then you have to take your temperature. Each worker have to take the temperature. If it's high, if the temperature is high, we have to obviously you'll be sent home. But if it's okay, you can carry on and work. You find that with some residents, especially if we have admissions from hospital, you have to like before you go into the room is you got to constantly changing into put being dressed with PPE to go into the room. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 on one floor. If you got to go in for anything, for medication, sometimes they have a phone call, whatever the situation may be. You got to always dressed in apron and mask and gloves and just to go into the room for just these little activities that may take place during the day. And there isn't much that you struggle with because of the fact that we haven't have any positive cases. But it's just that when they come from hospital, we would take the certain precautions for like a week or two, and that is the only thing. And what happened that I would say I struggle with. I notice because of the lockdown had lifted a bit. You find people are more out, and we find that some of the residents are coming into the workplaces. At first they did ask permission to come and to speak to the relative, like through the window, and then then you notice that they ask one time and they think that is a regular thing. So you find them coming often. You just see them walking across the car park, especially those on the ground floor. They just walking across the car park and gone to the window to chat with the relatives, and then they're in close proximity.
What do you think about people that ignore social distancing rules?
Well, I mean, the people that are doing that, they're risking their own lives. They're risking it, and they need to be more sensible, and be aware of those things, because I mean the thing about it, you're seeing and you're hearing a lot. People sharing their experiences on the media and what they go through and all these kind of things, but people still not taking note. But it's just that they're risking their own life, and that's not a good thing. You do have fears, yes, you do have fears. Because you love them, they're near and dear to you, and you don't really want them to be hurt. So that's why we got to do the best for them. You got to do the best to make sure that they are safe. We have to do our part. I mean, they're indoors. They're not going anywhere. But it's the workers coming and going. So we have to do our best just to protect them, because I mean, it just takes one person to cause the spread. I hope that we be able to work in such a way to prevent this disease from getting into the home, because we know that if it gets into the home, it will be devastating.
This is Unlocked. Denesia Clarke reports.